Kaffee ein. Kaffee, Kaffee, ach, so schenkt mir Kaffee. Ach, so schenkt mir Kaffee ein. Wie schmeckt der Kaffee süßer, niedlicher als 1000 Küsse, nieder als Muskat.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between out there. I am Diana Clarion, also known as the Lavender Lady, and this is Coffee with Lavender. How's everyone doing? And there's a little kitty face running around here in Lavender Studios. Why doesn't? Hey, you be nice. Everybody's going to be nice this morning, isn't it the case? I hope so. I hope all of you are having a good time so far, and I'm giving it a try myself. Now, I said in the intro to this, the little thumbnail, that it was going to be stuff and things, because I really didn't know exactly what I was going to be talking about, or trying to talk about anyway. And I've come to the idea that maybe a little talking about this thing called Thanksgiving might be in order. Hi, Cy, and I hope you don't mind that I borrowed your stuff and things for this morning's show. I couldn't think of much else. But about the Thanksgiving, yeah, we have this little scene in our heads here. You know, the Ferris scene of all a happy Thanksgiving meal around the table with, you'll notice that the newcomers to the land are those that are standing for the most part, and it is the locals, the folks already around who are doing the sitting. Kind of a little suggestive there, isn't it? Maybe of a little power dynamic going on. I think by now we all know that that's a bunch of crap. I wish we would have been taught that sort of thing back in the schools when I was there, and because I find it interesting that you have this depiction of the Puritans, the Pilgrims, coming over and being all nice to the locals. See if I can get the name of the tribe here without totally murdering it. It seems to be the Wampanoag tribe. If anybody knows, please let me know if I killed that totally. But the Pilgrim types, and they hated that name, by the way, were a generally disagreeable bunch. So what's all this nicey going on over here? Well, that's all Abraham Lincoln. It's a little story that he invented as a sort of a unity thing during the Civil War. I like what the historian for the Wampanoag had said in an interview that appeared in Indian Country Today last year, 23 November 2017, when she was asked, you know, so the Pilgrims didn't invite the Wampanoags to sit down and eat turkey and drink some beer. Part of her answer to that, I really like this, was in those days the English really needed to rely on us, and yes, they were polite as best they could be, but they regarded us as savages nonetheless. That you're being a little kind there, ma'am, but yeah, it's a little less than what was pictured there, and that kind of carries over in my memory anyway, to what went on in my life, because we had some more garbage, if you will. I mean, we have the whole Norman Rockwell thing going on. of the family all around the table and bring out the turkey and everybody's all happy and friendly and bullshit. My Thanksgivings that I remember were times for, well, not quite drunken brawls, but there was quite a bit of drinking and there was more than a little arguing going on at the time. And I have to wonder, and I'm going to put the question out to those listening now and maybe those listening on the rewatch. How many of you had a Norman Rockwell Thanksgiving? I'd like to hear from you folks to know whether or not it was a real thing. And I'd like to hear especially from the folks who had a Thanksgiving that was, let's say, a bit less than Norman Rockwell Thanksgiving. More the kind that I was sort of accustomed to. Because I think it might be instructive to hear, okay, if not the stories themselves, what went on later, what all you folks would have done to, how am I looking for it, to resign yourself or to get by, to make an accord with whatever went on back then to get on with your life. Because I'll be kind of honest about it. It still bothers me. I mean, to this day, I'm 61 years old, and my memories of these Thanksgiving dinners go back a way, and none of them were very much fun. I mean, the only fun I had was pretty much when I was bombed out of my mind, so I wasn't noticing everybody else bombed out of their minds. Okay, I see a couple things. Mark Caesar, family get-togethers were pretty good in my family. Well, I am very happy on you for that because um, it sounds like a fairly nice thing to me. I mean, even civility sounds like a fairly nice thing to me. Said, well, my grandfather, the linchpin of the family, was alive. Okay. Yeah, during that time they were pretty good. Um, yeah, you always did have that linchpin, and I think that for what it was worth in my family, Babka might have served that role. She sort of held things together, um, maintained the peace for what it was worth. I mean, nobody really wanted to go off the handle while she was in the room. And it was kind of unfortunate when, well, I mean, as we all must, she eventually died. And things were left to their own devices, if you will. In those last few years that I was still around Cleveland, it became interesting from time to time. Um, but there's the thing, and I'm thinking, now here's where the stuff and things come in. Because we're not necessarily going to stay with Thanksgiving. We're going to eventually take care of what the cat is up to, because I don't know if you can hear that. It's a little bit of going on as if she's kind of less than pleased about something. I would like, if some of you folks would like to come on, to do a show, perhaps Wednesday evening, on your Thanksgiving experiences, especially, and I think Seth did one of these for the Christmas holidays a couple of years ago, when you, as a non-believer, are surrounded by not only a believing family, but a strongly believing family, people that want to fill you with the Spirit, and the whole say, well, while you're not buying it, it would be interesting to hear some of your stories. Um, so if you feel like something like that, why don't you shoot me a message? I'm on Twitter at LavenderLady0. If you do have Twitter, I hope I hope most of you do. It's Twitter seems to be the currency of commerce here in the content creators community. Anyway, um, I used to be a really big Facebook person, and now since I've started this sort of thing, it's almost never that I use Facebook, and um, it's I don't know, maybe some of my Facebook people think I left them behind. Okay, Thanksgiving, not a thing in Australia. That's kind of nice, actually. I kind of like that idea. Um, because there's the other thing. You know, when you're talking about Thanksgiving, let's look at that word. Thanksgiving. So you're implying that you're giving thanks to someone, something, something like that. And in the circles I've had to grow up in, that was invariably a deity, and you know the whole prayers and things were around. Oh my, here we have some. Oh my, side, half Italian mom's side, half Polish dad's side. Any holiday was good excuse for massive meat and eat. Those were fun. Mom was the hub. So the old world Polish side, everyone knows. Oh, yeah, you only see them at weddings and funerals, definitely, Cy. I don't know if we talked about this before. Um, my heritage, not my genetics, but my heritage, those that raised me, those around whom I grew up, was Slovak and Polish. So I know where you're coming from. Um, okay, Hans, Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's very much American. And when I say American here, I'm also including the Canadians who celebrated Thanksgiving, I think, early last month. Um, so I think the whole tradition arose around that story of what was supposed to have happened in 1621 in the Plymouth colony. So yeah, I get that it's not a very popular thing where the other side of the pond, if you will, is concerned. And as I said before, what's really funny about that, um, the Puritans came over here seeking, freedom from religious persecution, whereupon they visited their own brand of persecution on anybody who wasn't like them. Isn't that really great? And when I said that earlier they were a disagreeable bunch, that's kind of putting it mildly, because remember now, this I didn't learn for a while. I think I was in late high school by the time I learned this one. The Puritans did not come to North America directly from their lodgings, if you will, in England. They first went to the most religiously tolerant country of Europe at the time, the Netherlands, who asked them to leave because they were too much pains in the butt. Think about that, kids. I mean, really, when very, very tolerant people ask you to leave, you're not going to have fun wherever you go. Um, but yeah, the whole weddings and funerals thing. We had, when I was growing up, the standard holidays. There was the Thanksgiving thing. There was the Christmas thing, where everybody got together around Bobka's table. There were actually 13 of us. Um, so Bobka had to invite number 14. I don't know if you know about this one, side, where you could not seat 13 at a table. So Bobka would invite a family friend to round it out to some number other than 13, um, so as not to invite, the bad luck, the bad spirits upon the family for the rest of the year. Um, yeah, absolutely, Shadow Kitty. little sophism, if you will. And yeah, it is a harvest festival, and that really impresses me that Thanksgiving should be celebrated at the end of November. What do you harvest when the snows are flying? Remember that this was Plymouth in Massachusetts, where it Gulf Stream or no Gulf Stream, it still gets kind of cold around this time of year. So what the hell? And I don't know. It's always fun. Thanksgiving around here. That's why I'm trying to talk about these things right now. Kind of get my mind off of everything. I don't have that Norman Rockwell thing. I never did. Actually, what I have is more like a blank sheet of paper. Really not much that goes on over here. And I remember one year I got so lonely that I actually put a general invitation out on Facebook. And a couple of people I had never met before came over. We had a wonderful dinner, and we promised to keep in touch and everything, and I never heard from them again. Oh, well, what are you going to do? For the few hours, it was fun. This year it's going to be me and the cat. Um, I don't even know that I'll do. I used to do the whole meal, if you will, as if I were serving Napoleon's army, the way Bobka did. And I'd have enough to eat until Christmas, really, where I would do it all over again and have enough to eat until February. I don't even know if I want to do that this year. It gets, I don't know, it feels like it's almost not worth it anymore. So you just sit and you do nothing. Happy, surprisingly unsuperstitious for your group, Si. That's always a good thing. Superstitions were big in that group I found myself in. I mean, not only the holiday superstitions, they were small things too. Here's where we get into the stuff and things other than Thanksgiving, I suppose. I remember that, okay, if I lost a button on a shirt or something, and she, the FSB, the one that everybody called my mother, were to sew that on while I was still wearing the clothing, I had to clench a wooden clothespin between my teeth. That was some sort of superstition she had going on. And if there was, I think, once that I took this thing out of my mouth for a minute and said, "What the hell is this supposed to be for?" And she screamed at me to put it back in the mouth. So I never really got an answer to it. Like, I guess there never really was one. But it was that crazy. The weird little superstitions that went on. I look back on them and I smile now to some extent. Well, they're all dead, so how can those superstitions be visited upon me or anything like that? Okay, sleeping then going to work. Well, I guess that's one way to do it. That's the thing, when I go into some of the stores, like Squalmart, for example, those people working over Thanksgiving, I don't know if I should feel sorry for these folks or be happy for them. Sigh? That's brilliant. That is an absolutely brilliant idea. What do you all think about doing an on-air Thanksgiving get-together? I'm with you. I am definitely with you. We are going to talk. See if, I hope you don't mind if you and I have a little talk and see how we could arrange something like this. I'm all for it, really. Um, that would be a great way to, meet and talk with some of you guys that I really only talk to in the side chats. Oh, I am so sorry, Kate. Yeah, it's my word. It's 7:30 a.m. where you are, and actually, hon, there is a reason I do this um, at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it's not a very nice reason. I understand that, um, but 10 a.m. is when I used to be on the air with another group I used to work with. And I'm kind of scheduling myself directly opposite them, just to be a bitch. Hi, if you're watching. Yeah. I don't know. It might be a good idea to think about doing these a little later. I'm doing another one at 8 p.m., which for you, Kate, would be 5 p.m. Um, and that's another thing and stuff that I can talk about. Um, I recently broke 200 subscribers, and it amazes me that 200 people would actually want to see what I'm putting out when I do put it out. Um, but I'm happy about that, and I thought I would celebrate a little bit, and that's going to happen tonight. Little 200 subscriber celebration. If you want to stop by for that one, if you want to come on the panel, Kate, shoot me a message. Um, and I'll just see if I couldn't have another couple people that you look like something the cat dragged in, ate, regurgitated behind the couch, in which I didn't find until the smell of it rotting became too strong to ignore. In other words, Kate, you're beautiful as usual. Okay, I get it. No, I'm not biased, am I? Doc Fearsome, Central Time. Okay, it's after work for you. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, it's the interesting thing about this. And Sai, I know you know this one as well. When you're dealing with an audience that is, around the world, time zones become a whole lot of fun. And you're absolutely correct, Sai. We genuinely have something to be thankful for. We've all met. We have unrestricted freedom to communicate, at least for now. And that's a damn good reason to have something like this, and you're right. And I'm definitely looking forward to shooting you a note. Let's see if we can get something going. Let's see how we want to do this. Um, maybe it would be really great, and maybe I'd end up in tears. What could you possibly be doing for that ends at the ass crack of dawn? Oh, I don't know. I used to work nights, Kate. I actually liked it. Um, because I've never been an early person. As far back as I can remember, I have been a night owl. I mean, give me my own clock, let my circadian rhythm run free, and I might uh, I might wake at 4 or 6 p.m. and go through the night and go back to bed at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., something like that. I've never really got over it. I mean, you see me here now, and the only reason I'm here now is that here in Pittsburgh now is almost 10:30 a.m., which isn't such a bad thing. I mean, I'd really like to be under those nice warm covers, but, it's the way it works. Night auditor at a hotel. That must be interesting. I'll have to get you on air sometime and ask you what that's about. Hi, Laura. Yeah, it's sorry about your not having much morning time, but happy about your being here. Um, oh, thank goodness you're invisible. What? I mean, that sounds to me like what Gary Trudeau used to do with W. If any of you remember the Doonesbury of the time. Um, but yeah, so that's something to mark on my notepad. Get together with Cy and figure out what to do. And Kate is so not night people. You're a noon people. Okay, that would work. That works definitely. Well, it works for you, obviously. I take it you've been doing it for more than a week. Um, yeah, it's the whole routine thing. I really don't know how the people who have to work, um, what do you want to call them, random shifts, do it. Uh-huh. Kate, I am with you. Bloom County all the way. Burke is a genius. I know he had that time where he wasn't so genius about his genius in between incarnations of Bloom County, but my word, he did it beautifully, and he's doing it beautifully again. I'd like to talk to that man. I really would. Not that it's going to happen anytime soon. He'd see my name and who the hell is that? Uh, but yeah, stable routine. As long as you've got one, you adapt. Rotating shifts. That's a good word. I hadn't thought of that word. Yeah, especially when you have one shift a couple hours later, maybe a half hour later, you've got to do another shift, and then like most of the day later, you've got to do another one, and it's eek. A turnip twaddler. When I read that, I first read a Trump twaddler, and I wasn't so sure what I wanted to do with that. Um, but now when I look at the news, I think of those days, 30 years ago when Burke put Trump's brain into Bill the Cat's body. We almost have Bill the Cat's brain in Trump's body now. So, yeah. Oh my. Is there anything else anybody would like to hear? This may end up being a rather short show, but hope nobody minds. Okay, your eyes are light sensitive. I got you. Yeah, I liked the night shift because that was my clock, and I was the only one there, so I didn't have to put up with any at work weirdness, or at least until the changing of the guard. And it was time for me to leave, and everybody was starting to come in, and we'd exchange, what went on overnight and what was going to go on. So I have not seen Doonesbury in a hell of a long time either. I don't know exactly what he does anymore. I don't know if it's the political talk that you had, around 1970, or if it's some of the PSAs that you had in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, definitely, Doc. Okay, you want to hear Roxette? I guess, I guess someday I should find out what that sounds like. It's really strange. You talk about routines and that sort of thing. Think of me what you will, but I was the 14-year-old who preferred Beethoven to the pop music of the time. Um, I guess I was weird. Well, of course I was weird. What are you talking about? And that stays with me till the present day. Well, I mean, look at my intro. I'm going to have to put that in the credits one of these days for those who have heard it and don't quite know what it is. It's from Bach's Coffee Cantata. Um, so we're talking Baroque era here. Um, no, I really don't, Kate. Yeah, I know. Are you going to spank me? Oh my. I guess you're going to have to introduce me. I mean, we came from different times, different places, and I'm open. What can I tell you? Uh, I've heard the name. I have, and that's about as far as it went. Because, like I say, my tastes have been pretty strange over my lifetime. Um, you're probably right, hon. There are a lot of things I know without knowing I know them. And then you find out that you know them. And it's like, I didn't know that I knew that. Had I known that I knew that, I would have known to know that I knew that. Okay, you can shoot me now. No, we don't grow out of weird, Laura. No, it only becomes more entrenched and we only get weirder. At least, as far as the up and comers are concerned, anyway. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's fun to be weird, and the other thing about being weird is that you're sort of out of the game, really, and you're always on the outside looking in. I don't know how much fun that is. Yeah, I think I might know. Do you know if I know? I don't know if I know because were I to know, I might know. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that, dear. Oh my, this is wonderful. I love the way this is fluid this morning. Um, maybe we'll have to do a show about Roxette. Hey, Kate, how's that sound? Um, you are definitely unique, Kate, just like everybody else, and there's just something about that uniqueness of yours. What can I tell you? How's the weight loss going? You don't want to know! My weight loss is in the negative territory. I think I weigh more now than I did when I started this. Um, I don't know if I've lost a little weight or if I've redistributed the weight that I have. Now, I'm still not religious about this, if you'll pardon the term. I've been trying to do the gym, trying to get in shape, which is something I'd never really known way back when. Um, so maybe that's helping a little bit. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to admit it, I'm still having trouble bending over to tie my shoes, which is really what got me thinking about this whole thing, about the weight losing. Well, that and, like I say, putting on 20 plus pounds when I quit smoking, that really did. I mean, I wasn't light when I quit smoking, and I'm definitely not light now. As a matter of fact, I'm heavier than I'd ever been before. Play a metric fuck ton of spark. I'm going to have to check this out, hon. Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you. I don't know, maybe. It's been, let's see, I was about to say 11 hours and 15 days, but no, that's not quite it. I put the pipe down for the last time at the beginning of August. So, Pink Floyd. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. I really, really like, as far as Floyd goes, the Wish You Were Here. Especially the album cover. That guy on fire is just amazing. That and Dark Side of the Moon, which of course we all know that doesn't exist. The moon has no dark side, but that's just me being an arse. I mean, as far as recent stuff, and when I say recent, I mean within the past 100 years, I kind of tend, I'm getting into the stuff I, quote, should have, end quote, been into when I was younger. The Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, I love close harmony. Well, I guess that's from the days when I sang. So I used to sing in quartets, octets, choir, and I appreciate good harmony. And then another thing I absolutely love, and it's time for that pretty soon, when the winter holidays come around. Like, for example, this is a fun one. You know how you go into the stores and you see the Christmas decorations up, like, August 30th. Not so when I was younger. It would be the day after Thanksgiving that you'd see everything appear. And I still start my Christmas season, if you will, the day after Thanksgiving, and that's when the Bob Rivers comes out. The Bob Rivers Christmas carols, because he did a version of A Little Town of Bethlehem. The lyrics were set to the music of the one that Eric Burden did, House of the Rising Sun. And believe it or not, it works. And it's hilarious. So I'll put it on. Friday morning is probably what I'll do is, turn the amplifier up to, turn it past 11, what the hell, turn it up to 30, 1100, million thousand, and play this Bob Rivers, and just get the neighbors wondering what the hell I am. Well, they already do that. Spanksgiving. We're gonna have to talk, Kate. Oh my, the film. It's been a hell of a long time since I've seen that, Si. Yes, Mark, yes, absolutely. Um, Start the Christmas shopping on Boxing Day. Especially, well, that's the one thing that she used to do, the FSB, would be to show up for decorations starting Boxing Day. Well, my so-called family didn't know what the hell, didn't know Boxing Day from Hole in the Ground. All they knew was the 26th of December. But yeah, you pick up the stuff on sale and you keep it around all year and use it that next season. Oh, excuse me, please. I'm burping here a little bit. Um, that was really always nice. And gotta thank you guys for reminding me of things that I had forgotten about for so long. I mean, being here by myself, it's kind of easy to forget. And okay, let's see what the cat isn't up to anything horrible yet. Okay, good. I would, Kate, but you won't tell me where to send it. Oh, for the love of Saint Gulick. Yeah, I might. Oh, who the hell was it? Was it you or was it somebody else that mentioned liking tea with hot sauce? That I would. Oh, okay. For that year. Okay, that works. That works. I mean, well, hell, you've got the 12 days of Christmas, right? So you're going on to the Feast of the Epiphany anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My Catholic roots are showing. Um. Oh, okay, okay. I have to remember that now. I'd still like to know where to send you some coffee chocolate chip cookies, but we'll work on that. Well, you take care, Laura. Great having you by. It's always a wonderful pleasure for you folks to come by. It's almost like having people around. The only thing I miss is like for example this morning I'm doing all the talking. What would really be wonderful would be to have everybody around that dining table back there over coffee and biscuits and well, maybe someday I can arrange something like that. So until then, this will just have to suffice. But you take care, Laura. You do what you need to do, and yeah, the rest of us will do what we need to do as far as that goes. And yeah, no, really, I'm with you. I'm with you, Kate. I know exactly what you're talking about because you don't want um, strange people showing up at your door with strange ideas. Um, and it's an unfortunate thing because I really would, in all seriousness, I really would love to send you that coffee chocolate chip cookies, but I know how it goes. So yeah, you're almost people, Si. Would anyone have a Christmas tree? You know, that's got to be an idea to try. I've thought of it. I don't know how things are going to go this year. I've been there. I've been there and I didn't see you. Where were you? Oh man, that is a day I won't forget for a very long time. Um, 'Cause yeah, I mean, from Thanksgiving to baseball, what a change here. But that day I was at Wrigley Field last year on what must have been the most exciting game of the entire uh, 2017 season. I'm happy I did that. So I don't know. I suppose that there are some advantages to being alone. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't mind being alone, but I hate being lonely. Um, but that's another story entirely. And let me get off that subject before I start crying. Um, Kate, pretty good idea, really. Um, what is the what is the line from Hamlet? Trust none of us. I know that's slightly different interpretation there, but it's just the way it goes, I suppose. Uh, now, Mark, Kate, and I have talked about that, and no, I understand where she's coming from, definitely. 'Cause I'd have to really think twice, three times, maybe four times before I provided my address to someone I met on the interwebs. Now, I have done it, um, and happily, it hasn't got me into any big trouble, and well, I guess I was kind of lucky. Um, I gave my address to a dear friend as a return address on a package I sent her this past summer, and I did give my address to someone in New Jersey back in '98, and that resulted in an 11-year relationship, and I'm not exactly sure how that one worked out. it, it had its it had its good points. It had a lot of points I'd rather not revisit, but did have some good points. So I guess with that I've been kind of lucky. But it's just the way it is, and that was the kind of funny thing. I'll probably tell this story around Christmas time again, but I came to meet or make a new friend just on a sort of on a whim. It was Christmas evening, and I hadn't done any special meal the way I had usually done, and I almost didn't feel like it. And then I decided, oh, what the hell, I will. And very, very good, Kate. And late in the day, I decided I would throw the turkey in the oven and stuff. And then I got to talking with someone on Facebook Messenger. Uh, this was someone directed to me through Seth Andrews when I was on his Christmas show a few years ago. This would have been, let me think, 2 years ago. Yeah. Um, and I just made an offhand comment, just being funny, because the timer went off, which signaled that the turkey was done. I said, hey, I've just pulled a turkey out of the oven. You hungry? And she texted over, what, are you inviting me for dinner? I said, hell, why not? And that was one of the nicest Christmas dinners I'd ever had. Cassia came over, and we sat and had a really good time and a really good meal, and we repeated the procedure this past Christmas of 2017. I don't know how it's going to go this year. Cassia has found love, so I'd like to have the two of them come over. But then again, they may have other obligations to fulfill. We will see. Yeah, you develop trust with people over time, definitely. The thing about trust, if you've, I get the point where if you've ever trusted someone and had that trust, um, what's the word for it? Broken? This person ended up doing something that definitely was not something you would want a person you trust doing, then it's hard to trust people in future. But that's something each of us has to work with on our own, I suppose. And yeah, Mark, it's sad when you do that big dinner and there's nobody to share it with. Okay, that goes on around here a lot because violated. Thank you. I don't know. I must be getting old. I'm losing these. I'm losing the words that I used to know. I don't have all the good words. So I guess I can't be president or something. Um, that whole sharing the meal, sharing other things, means a great deal to me. I'm the one who wants to. I'm the one who wants to do the sharing and appreciate the sharing, but lately that has not been the case. Yeah, I think I know where you're coming from, Mark, because that's what I would do was I would do the big dinner almost in defiance, if you will. You know, I'm alone, but I'm still going to. I'm still going to do the whole dinner thing, make it for Napoleon's army and everything. You should see the table I would set. Um, and as I said before, I would have enough to eat for at least a week, if not more. And it was just a sad thing that you're the only one there. I mean, yeah, the cat's there, but you do kind of like the company of your own kind as well. Um, I'm looking at these years in which people were borned. I'm not going to say a word. But yes, I will say a word. God, you make me feel old. When I was born, the only satellite circling the Earth was the moon. Okay? Oh, I feel for you, Doc. I really do. I feel you. Um, yeah, childhood. I mean, there are a few memories I have, a few good memories, but for the most part, I would just like to forget the whole thing. There are times I'll have my little fantasies and wonder what would happen were I able to have those years back with certain strategic changes. Maybe I'll have to do a show on this someday because you get a lot of thinking going when you think about something like that. Um, I think I will, as a matter of fact. I think I will do a show on what if. And maybe we can get some people talking about what if. Iowa in the 80s. Oh, God. That's right. Doc, was it you that attended the exact same church as Godless Iowan? Or was that somebody else? God, a sausage sizzle? That sounds good. I'll be right over. Oh, boy, moi. Yeah, so there are my roots showing. My Slovak roots. Something Bob Collins always would say. And what am I doing saying it? What is this atheist doing saying, my God? But there it is. So, oh my, oh my. Yeah, I see that okay, not you. It's got to be somebody else. God, why is everybody around here from Iowa, for Christ's sake? Yeah, it's getting close to the time when both of Mickey's hands are on the 12, but Sunday morning coffee instead of Sunday morning sermon is preferable. Yes, Landon, really, 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 really. Um, okay, North Iowa. So I take it you would be closer to Unholy Mole than GI is. Wait. Manitoba, what's going on here? That's the other thing I need to do, Cy. Thank you for reminding me. I've got to make a flying spaghetti monster tree topper this year. But yeah, on Friday I'll see about trying to bring out some of the decorations and see if we can do anything that a certain kitty will allow me to keep up. Okay? Yeah, you hear me, right, honey? Sitting in the window there. I know it's a little difficult to see her in that glare, but there's that kitty face over my shoulder. She's a good kitty. Yeah, you is a good kitty. Here comes the good kitty. Um, yeah, internet is our only escape. We gotta get out of this place. No. They're gonna. I don't want my thing shut off here. Okay, I'll have to look these guys up. Um, I don't know all that many Canadian atheists. Those I do know are not from Manitoba. Um, but they come from just about everywhere else. And okay, so let me start into my clothes routine here. All kitties are good, especially this kitty. Yes, I took her in as a stray 2 years ago, and I guess she likes it around here. I'll have the door open, and she'll look at the door. She'll look at me. She'll look at the door. She'll look at me. Hey, human, the door's open. You might want to close it. So, oh, you're gonna say hi to everybody? Oh, come on. No, she's not gonna say hi to everybody. What can I tell you? But tonight, dear friends, I will be on the air again, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, to celebrate my 200 subscribers and ask those 200 people why the hell they even find me interesting. She is a sweetie. Yes. Yeah, you're right about that, Kate. Um, I'm thinking as far as anybody outside of the YouTube community. I mean, I know and love Neil, for example, and Shannon. Paul and I don't talk quite as much as Shannon and I do, and Shannon and I don't talk that much anyway, but We have been known to. Um, Izeth is a wonderful, wonderful lady. Um, and Logic's a sweet kid, too, as far as that goes. Um, the one thing I'd love to be able to do is. Okay, okay. Gotcha, Landon. Yeah. Um, but okay, as I say, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Alaska, Hawaii. I think it's Alaska, Hawaii, or is there another time zone in between? You guys get the point. Um, I'll be around celebrating number 200. Actually, I think I'm at 206 or 207 right now, and I thank every one of you. I really do. I appreciate your coming in to view my stuff and leave your comments, appreciative, and even especially the comments of, it wasn't a bad thing, but maybe if you did it a little bit differently, it might work a little better. You want to try this, and yeah, it's um, and I met a lot of wonderful people since I've got started here. I started around, well, I guess here in the YouTube atheist community, I think it might go back to about March. I did my first actual real video back about a year ago when I found out that I had to move. So met a lot of very, very interesting, very, very wonderful people. A lot of them are here right now. That's a really good thing. I guess I can say that I'm giving thanks for that as far as that goes. But yeah, I want to keep this kind of short so that people might be willing to give it a look on the rewatch. I know there was a live stream I threw together just on the spur of the moment a week or two ago, and it turned out to be about 5 hours. And somebody actually left a comment. It's, hey, I like you, but not a 5 hour video. Sorry about that. And it's like, yeah, I get the point. I get the point. Um, so everybody, I'm really, 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 really thanking you for coming by, and I hope to see you again and again and again and again and again. And I promise, really, I do, to work on getting more regular as far as the content is concerned. Um, Something to really work on for me. That'll be a Thanksgiving resolution. Why wait till New Year's Day? Um, and so everybody, you be good and have fun. And as the crew of Apollo 8 was known to say, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.